Today on the victim economy, do police have enough power? So today I wanted to highlight an old but gold story. So this was earlier this year, around the 20. This was posted on the 28th of March. Let's just read the title. You fucking dog. Shocking moment. A woman who was pulled over for speeding in her Audi spits on a police officer after claiming she was on her way to get tested for coronavirus. So the woman was 25. She was arrested in southwest of Sydney in Greenacre on Friday. She's come up with the bullshit story. She was on her way to get tested. She's coughed and spat in the officer's face. Let's see, here's some other details. So Greenacre, after driving at speeds exceeding 120 kilometers per hour. Exceeding. So that doesn't mean 120. So, she could have been going 150, whatever. That's just nuts. She's also accused of running a red light and overtaking a vehicle on broken lines. So, the woman was pulled over by police at around 5 p.m, but she allegedly refused to get out of her car. So this is where it all starts. So you've got this demographic of people in Bankstown. Now, I'm not going to demonize everyone, and I'm not going to demonize all Muslims, but I am going to refer to a lot of Muslims in Bankstown. If you are from Sydney, if you've been to Greenacre in Sydney, there is a relatively large portion of the Muslim community. They're very, very peaceful, very polite, lovely people. But there is also an equally sizable chunk of people who are just criminals. Let's just be blunt, because that's the truth. A lot of them are very dodgy. I always say there is a lot of very wealthy unemployed people in Greenacre. So you go to Greenacre, there's Range Rovers, AMGs, C63 seems to be the vehicle of choice in Greenacre. There's just a lot of that there. You see duplexes for days. A lot of the guys are pretty candid with their let's just say their achievements. They laugh, they think it's funny, no one can touch them. They'll tell you, I make a couple of 100,000 here or there every year, maybe more, selling drugs, doing fraud, doing dodgies, whatever it may be, ripping people off, and then they'll pump it into property. So they'll buy an $800,000 house, pump $200,000 worth of cash into it, pay their friends to redo the kitchen, all the local tradies, do the kitchen, render outside, landscaping, redo the bathrooms, what have you. And then they might sell the house for 1.2. So they've effectively gotten their 800 back, washed their 200, and made an additional 200 on top. That's clean. You do that a few more times, and you end up with a lovely group of people, much like this, that have cars that are in excess of $100,000. That appears to be an Audi RS3 she's driving. They're quite expensive from what I know. And they just hate police. They hate authority. They hate being told what they can and can't do. And if you go to Greenacre, as I said, not all of them, but you will see there is a small group of people that do not give a shit. They will speed, they will overtake, they will be violent, they will scream at you in the streets, people will spit at you. There's a very big underworld in Greenacre. It's kind of like the little crime capital of Sydney. It can be a nice place, but to be honest, if you're not one of them, you don't feel welcome. So now that we're touching on this article, I want you people to put it together. So I happen to have the original of the video here. So I want people to kind of tell me what you think. So I'll just kind of run through the video here very briefly. So what's happened is, as you've seen through the article, this young lady here was caught speeding in her Audi. The police officers pulled her over and she's screaming and kicking, saying, "I'm going to get a coronavirus test." So it looks like she's geared up with her mask, and she's obviously showing COVID-like symptoms. And so because she doesn't like authority, and as I said, go to Greenacre, you'll see they do not like police there. She's resisting arrest. So the policeman's handcuffed her and she's screaming at him. The first time she spits at him, she spits kind of on the side of his face, on his shoulder. And she tells the cameraman, record this, almost as if to say, record this so we can watch it later and laugh. It just shows you the kind of defiance people have, because I don't know about you, but when the police pull someone like me over, I become the most polite person in the world, because being nasty to police first of all, isn't going to get you anywhere. In fact, it's probably going to make things worse. And second of all, people forget police officers are just regular people that go home, that have families, that are just trying to pay their bills, and they're just trying to do the best they can. And people seem to think once they are wearing a uniform, they're not people anymore. They're these scumbags that are there to just ruin their day. So she turns around the first time, spits on him, and he warns her, "Don't spit on me or I'll put you on the ground." Meanwhile, this cameraman's recording didn't seem to have an issue with a person spitting at a police officer. Why would they have an issue with that? That's like police officers are free to go, like they're an open target. Go for it. And then the second time she spits on him directly in the face, then he puts her on the ground. And then the cameraman starts screaming, "Don't touch her, don't touch her," like she's innocent, which I find hilarious. And then just wrapping things up. So once that's going on, the guys are coming over trying to help her, and she's screaming, "Brother, put on my scarf." You listen to the way these people talk. I don't know why they have these accents. They put this shit on. And then she's just screaming, "I can't wait to sue you, you're a dog, allez," whatever the fuck that means. And I just find this whole story really funny. Then later on in the last part of the video, the police are wrapping things up. They've put a mask on her, obviously, because she's refusing to stop spitting. And then the father comes over at the last moment, and it kind of comes up, storms up on police, and police are trying to just push him back, create a bit of space, and then he starts losing my mind. "Don't touch me, don't touch me." And I'm like, well, if you're going up to police and they're asking you to go back, and you're pushing and you're coming forward, what are they supposed to do? He's just, I don't know, like, I don't understand this. This doesn't make any sense to me from a logic perspective. And as I said, this is the demographic that we are creating. We've got these people now that are coming from a very low educational background, that have figured out some street smarts, that know how to make some money, because all we do here is build. And they've obviously got some money. I bet you that Audi was paid for in cash before the $10,000 cash ban. And they walk around like their shit doesn't stink. And then they think when the police come to enforce some law, that it doesn't apply to them. So let's just watch. Watch this, record this.
Fucking record this, yeah? Ale, do not spit on me or you'll get put on the ground. I want to call my lawyer, let go. I want to call my lawyer, let go. Just stuff that I have, bro. Oi!
She bangs her head into the door now. What a maniac. Spits in his face. And so the guy says, "Don't fucking touch her." So let me get this straight. She can spit in a police officer's face, but the moment he doesn't like it, he already warned her once. Like, she already got a free ticket. If she wasn't a Muslim woman, he would have planted her in the ground. And then the second time he does it, he puts her on the grass. I would have planted her on the concrete. But he puts her on a, looks like a pretty grassy thing, so it wouldn't have hurt too much. And people are saying, "Don't touch her," defending her like she's an innocent woman. She's acting like an absolute maniac.
Oh, bro, this is what I'm talking about. Let go of me! Oi, I can't wait to sue you, you fucking dog! I can't wait to sue you, you fucking dog! I'm gonna sue you!
Can you hear her? "I can't wait to sue you, you fucking dog." So the woman, she looks like she's on a suburban street. That's no main road. She was driving in excess of 125 kilometers on a main road. Do you think there might be children there? Do you think there might be other cars there? I don't know why people think that they have the right. And you'll see this, and it's not just in Greenacre. You'll just see a lot of people that are just so arrogant. They think the laws don't apply to them. So many times I've been on the road and I've been doing the speed limit or even 10 Ks over, and people will go on the other side of the road to take over. It's just amazing how aggressive Sydney has become.
Brother, come fix my scarf, brother! Brother, come fix my scarf!
I'm fucking trying to control it for you.
Brother, come fix my scarf!
So the last part of this video is, as I explained, so they've just wrapped her up. They've put a face mask on her because she's refusing to stop spitting. And the father approaches, and as they've asked him to step back and he keeps coming forward, he starts losing his shit. And then in the last part of this video, they're trying to escort her to the police paddy wagon, and in a final act of defiance, like an animal, she's just kicking and screaming and resisting going into the van. Like, you're done. Just go into the van. Do you know what I mean? It's because it's all on video. There's all the heads from the area there, and they're all trying to put on a show because they're going to put it on social media. They want to show they're tough. They want to show they don't give a shit about police. And that's pretty much the sentiment in that area of Sydney. They don't give a shit. They do not respect authority. And it really saddens me, and it makes me feel bad for police. It makes me feel like, do police have enough powers? So let's watch the last part.
Are you serious?
So they're taking her to the van, and the father approaches now. And they see him coming, and they say, just step back. She's still screaming, out of her mind. Step back. Look. He's following them, like, get out of the way. Look at her. It's like a monkey with clothes. If she didn't have that mask, she'd be spitting on them all over again. So it's really sad that this is what society has descended into. People get a little bit of a restriction and they go bananas. So anyway, you tell me, guys, what do you think? Am I wrong? Am I overreacting? Do police have too much powers? Because right now it seems like we're at a fork in the road. We're at a turning point, a tipping point. People are saying we should take away powers from police. People say it's becoming too much. But look what they deal with. Imagine if you were a police officer. Let me know in the comments.